Cerise lays on her back in the field of flowers. I place myself beside her, and Ilis lays on my right, so that I'm wedged in between the two of them. The three of us gaze up at the stars in silence. To my astonishment, I'm the one who breaks it. You're home. What's it like? Cerise is the first to answer.
It's great. We get to live in a big kingdom with all our brothers and sisters. Life never gets lonely, and the moon is always kind to us. I don't like it so much. It's too crowded, and there's too many noises. Our brothers and sisters aren't nice to me either. That's because you're a buzzkill, Ilis. You don't even try. That's not true.
If I don't say something now, things will escalate. We better get going. The sun will go down in a few hours. The two nod, but I can tell their thoughts are somewhere else, and I bet it has to do with their home. They live in a big kingdom ruled by the moon, huh? That sounds familiar to me somehow, like something from a fairy tale. The sun is being consumed by clouds that hover above us as we walk through the forest with our flowers still intact. I'm impressed with the progress we've made. We must be halfway by now. There's a silence between the three of us that won't last. I just know it will be broken any second now.
Protein!
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Cerise complains once again, stopping the three young women from reaching their destination. What?
I'm starving. I need protein. Cerise, we just had breakfast. That was hours ago. Don't act like you're not hungry either. Fine, I admit I'm feeling peckish. Peckish? What are you, a bird? Protein? What are you, a musclehead?
Cerise is right. Breakfast was hours ago. I'm surprised she didn't complain of hunger a lot earlier. I'm hungry too, I realize, but we ate the last of my rations already. Providing food for other people is hard. How do parents do it? Cerise grabs my arm and stops me from walking any further. I look into her eyes and she gives me a pleading look.
Come on, Einar. Oh, I forgot to click. Can you spare some food?
There's no food left. They both look like they might throw a tantrum or go into hysterics if I don't say something quick. Don't worry, there's food all around us. Ilis's eyes grow wide at my words, and Cerise's nose crinkles in disgust.
I don't want to kill any animals. And I don't want to eat any leaves.
A short laugh escapes my throat. I can't help it. These two are just so clueless. At first I thought it was real pain, but now I'm starting to think it's kinda cute. That's not what I meant.
What is it then? Are you going to make us lick moss off rocks? Very funny, Cerise. I try.
You'll see what I mean soon enough. Follow me. Before they can argue or say another word, I start to walk and scan the plant life around us. Mother taught me how to scavenge for berries and other edible plants when I was very, very young. It's very easy to make a mistake and eat something toxic or use the wrong plant for a medicine. Only with years of training have I been able to avoid such a deadly mistake.
She's searching for mossy rocks. I just know it. You know nothing.
Jon Snow.
I was just about to say that. Damn it. And you're just a know-it-all, aren't you? I guess that's why you think you're too good for everyone else. I said it once and I'll say it again. You don't know anything. You're just proving my point with that snobbish attitude of yours. Being snobbish is better than being a slob.
Feeling at my wits' end with the two of them, I go to turn around and tell them to cut it out when I see it, what I'm looking for. It makes me stop in my tracks. I stare at it, taking in the sight of it. It's a large mulberry tree covered in red, green, and purple berries that look very appealing. Cerise and Ilis must notice my sudden stillness as they stop too and follow my gaze. Their eyes light up and their stomachs take over their brains. Before I can explain anything to them, they rush over to the tree and take a berry each. Cerise takes a green berry and Ilis takes a red one. They're like hungry dogs. I expected this from Cerise, but from Eyeless too? Their hunger pains must be worse than I thought. I catch up to them, but I'm too slow.
Oh boy.
Well, at least mulberry bushes aren't poisonous.
Yeah.
Stop! They don't listen. Instead, they shove the berries into their mouths. If I had left them on their own from the first night, I'm sure they would have died from eating one poisonous plant or another, perhaps several. Lucky for them, these aren't poisonous. Helpless, I watch their faces contort from an expression of pure delight to one of disgust. Eyeless forces herself to finish the berry, while Cerise spits out the remains of her berry on Eyeless's shoe.
Ew.
Eyeless kicks the chewed-up berry off of her expensive shoe and glares at Cerise.
This isn't food. Are you trying to poison us?
Both Cerise and Eyeless look in my direction with disappointment and mistrust in their eyes. All I can do is laugh. I can't stop myself. The two glare at me even further as if I've gone mad.
What's wrong with you?
My sides hurt from laughing so much. It has been a while, but I managed to pull myself together. They're not poisonous. I don't think I'd have to go through the trouble of poisoning you and myself. You're both capable of doing that without my aid.
Why do they taste so bad?
You didn't give me the chance to explain. They taste bad because you ate the red and green ones. They aren't ready. It's the purple ones that are ripe and ready to eat. Give them a try.
Why should we trust you after you just laughed like a maniac?
Trust me or starve. It's your decision. Cerise hesitates, though Eyeless seems to put her trust back into me as she picks a ripe purple mulberry from the tree and bites into it. Purple juices escape from the berry and stains her dainty fingers.
This is so good.
Cerise seems to take Eyeless's word for it. After seeing her try the tea earlier, I can tell she means it this time, and follows suit. She picks her own purple berry and pops it into her mouth. Her face lights up, purple juices staining the corner of her mouth. Then she eats another and another, only stopping for a moment to speak.
You're right, Einar. These purple ones taste awesome. Better than moss.
Of course I'm right. I'm an herbalist after all. I'm a professional.
Yep.
We pick a bunch of ripe mulberries together and sit under the shady tree to eat them. A memory of mother returns to me. I recall doing something similar with her when she was here. It was a beautiful day that day, and there were purple-stained smiles and kisses from the sun's warm rays. It had been much like now. Except I'm not with Mother. I'm with two strange girls that appeared out of nowhere, that they claimed they fell from the sky, and their names are Eyeless and Cerise. I'm getting to know them little by little, and somehow they make me feel less alone. Is that bad, Mother? Is it bad that I found others to comfort me while you are gone?
Are you okay, Einar?
The sound of Eyeless's voice brings me back to the present. I look up and see both Eyeless and Cerise giving me a look of concern. I smile at them and give a short laugh, not at their gesture of worry, but at the state of their faces. Purple berry juice runs down their mouths and stains their milky white skin, and their hands are stained too. The juice looks almost magical against their pale complexion. They frown at me before they turn to each other, a smile of amusement cracking on their faces before the two of them burst into laughter. We laugh together for a time, and I begin to forget why we're laughing. Silence soon consumes us as we grow weary of laughter. The clouds in the skies are dark and heavy by this time. A question comes to mind in this moment. I don't know where it came from, but it has me curious, so I ask. Do you two have parents by any chance?
I'm sorry if it's loud right now. It's just the garbage truck's outside my window.
Yeah, I can tell.
Do you want me to wait till it passes?
No, it's fine. You can go ahead.
No, we don't. But the moon is like a father to us, and old Boo Boo acts as our mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a bad topic to bring up, one I don't like to talk about for various reasons. I'm sure they don't want to speak of it either.
Don't be. It's not like they're dead or anything, just non-existent. We aren't born the same way humans are, so we don't have or need parents.
There they go with the "we're not human" bullshit. Are they trying to mock me? Well, lucky for you. The venom in my voice is clear as day, and they must hear it.
Einar, did something happen to your parent?
You know nothing. Don't act like you know what it's like. ... The previous mood has been ruined, and a suffocating silence surrounds us. It takes all my strength to resist the urge to scream, to lash out, to wish they'd just disappear. Mother, I miss you. Come back to me. When I think things can't get any worse, it starts to rain, and a storm comes out of nowhere. 1 minute we're sitting under the cloudy sky, and the next we're running through the forest to escape the rain. The rain is heavy and relentless. It soaks us to the bone and pulls the now sodden flowers out of our hair. We have to find shelter. The three of us will get sick or worse if we have to stay out in the storm. Alice and Cerise follow me without question. To be honest, I don't know where we're going either. It's hard to see through the rain. We haven't been walking for long, but I'm afraid we may not be able to escape the rain's wrath.
Where are we going?
Just follow me. There should be a shelter up ahead.
You don't know where we're going, do you?
She wasn't even asking me a question, so I don't answer. All I can do is push forward and hope for the best. The first crack of thunder booms above us. Isla screams and starts to panic.
I can't do this. I have to get away from here. Iris, calm down. It's okay. No, it's not. Einar doesn't know where we're going. She could lead us off the edge of a cliff for all we know. You're overreacting. Don't tell me I'm overreacting. Don't act like you're my friend. It's not an act, Iris. I am your friend. A friend wouldn't say such inconsiderate things. A friend wouldn't constantly push me away. Maybe I don't want you around me. Maybe I don't want you around me either. No one wants you around, Iris. You know why? Because you think you're better than everyone else and you only care about yourself.
Alice doesn't respond. Instead, she turns on her heel and runs in the opposite direction. Zoom. Cerise watches her run off into the stormy dark forest on her own until she's out of sight. Then realization washes over her face and she turns to me.
Einar, we have to find Iris. She's afraid of thunderstorms.
Now she cares? But she's right, we have to find her. We can't just leave her on her own. Thunderstorms are frightening. I was once afraid of them when I was a child. Mother would hold me during those times and I would cry. Then Mother would rub my back and tell me stories in order to take my mind off the storm. It always worked. Hylas must be afraid of wherever she is right now. With a sigh, I look Cerise in the eye and I see genuine concern. Okay, let's go find her. Cerise takes my hand in hers all of a sudden. Her hand feels warm and solid in my own. My face warms at the touch.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's just so I don't lose you too.
No, it's
we
not.
We have to stick... Pardon?
No, it's not. It's because you're gay.
Sorry. We have to stick together.
Okay. Cerise can be mature when she wants to be. She leads me through the forest in the direction that Ilis ran in. We run hand in hand and call out for Ilis. Thunder cracks above us loudly, making it hard for me to hear my own voice, and cold wind blows against my face, causing my eyes to water. I'm not sure how long we've been doing this for, but time passes and it feels like forever. Cerise stops all of a sudden and pulls me to a halt beside her.
It's no use. She's gone and it's all my fault.
She's right about that. Cerise was the one who drove Ilis to run away. The two have been at each other's throats since I met them. Why do you two argue so much?
It's because we're so different from each other. I guess it's natural. Or maybe it has become a habit. I don't know. But I do know that I don't need to argue with her all the time. It may not seem like it, especially now. But I really care about Ilis. She's important to me.
I know.
You know? How can you say that after you saw how I treated her?
Because you're searching for her. Because it's been at least an hour and you haven't given up. Only a real friend would care that much about someone they love.
Love? Yeah, I do love her.
The silence passes through us, and all that can be heard is the rain and the thunder. Teresa's hand is still in mine, and I give it a soft squeeze. It's only a small gesture of comfort, but I can tell it means a lot to her. Come on, let's keep looking. Cerise gives me a thankful nod and allows me to lead her through the forest. Eventually, I spot a small cave in the distance, and Cerise notices it too. It's the perfect place to hide during a thunderstorm.
Hey, she could be in there.
Let's go.
Zoom.
The two of us run over to the cave as fast as we can. We enter, certain we'll find Eyeless inside. The cave is dark and cold. I can't see a thing. Suddenly, a bear attacks. We die.
Eyeless?
There's no response. A loud rumble of thunder strikes through the air and causes the cave to tremble beneath my feet. Alice's familiar scream fills my ears, and I see her running towards me when a flash of lightning touches the cave. Alice runs straight into me and buries her head against my chest. She sobs, and I try to comfort her by stroking her back, just as my mother did for me all those years ago.
Dude, you come up to her boobs.
Yep. Alice, it's okay. Another rumble of thunder fills the cave, and this time Cerise clings onto me. She holds onto my free arm, hugging it against her chest. At first I thought she was joking, but she seems genuinely afraid. This must be an odd sight, a small girl with two tall young women hanging onto her for protection. They really are children. Let's sit down. They respond by pulling away from me so I can move. I lead the two of them to the back of the cave and sit down, back against the wall. The two of them sit on either side of me and rest their heads on both of my shoulders. Alice is still sobbing a little on my left, but she has calmed down. Cerise, on the other hand, she's too sullen to be her usual fiery self. The thunderstorm is still going on outside, and it causes the cave to tremble every so often. At least it's dry in here and safe enough to sleep for the night. We're lucky Alice found this cave. A story. I'll tell them a story. One of the stories Mother used to tell me. The one about the first star, Irena. Irena?
Irina?
Irina? Let's go with Irina.
Yeah.
It used to be my favorite one, as Mother named me after the first star. My name is actually an anagram of Irina. Whenever I was afraid or upset, I'd ask her to tell it to me, and she always did. It's one of my fondest memories of her. You can read the story.
Okay. Once upon a time, there lived the moon. He was the only light that humans could count on at night. The humans appreciated the moon's light and would often send him prayers. Even so, the moon was very lonely as he lived in the dark night sky on his own. He longed for a family. One night, the moon met a girl, a sickly girl who would pray to him each and every night. The girl's name was Irina, and she was dying. She didn't have much longer to live, and she had no one else to turn to in her time of need, so she turned to the moon. She and the moon soon became good friends, but it was hard for the moon as she was dying in front of him each day. He had finally made a friend, and he didn't want to lose her. When Irina was on her deathbed, the moon told her he would grant her one wish before she left this world, but he can't save her life. Irina smiled at the moon and said, "My only wish is to stay with you. Won't you allow me to accompany you in the night sky?" At her words, the moon began to cry. When Irina passed away, the moon took her spirit and gave it new life. She was reborn, and she became the first star to ever govern the night sky alongside the moon. Thanks to Irina and her wish, the moon discovered how to create stars. He learned that they could only be born from human spirits. A new rule was created. In return for the moon's light, whenever a human dies, their spirit shall give birth to a newborn star, and that star shall shine bright in the night sky and keep the moon company. Ever since that day, Irina and the moon have lived in harmony with the stars, and the moon was never lonely again. The end.
With the last words of the story said, I let out a sad, nostalgic breath. Elise and Cerise have fallen asleep, the weight of their bodies leaning against my own. Their body heat keeps me warm, and I'm glad for it. The three of us have had a rough day. I'm exhausted. I feel my mind begin to drift off into sleep, but before I let it take me, I send a prayer to Mother. Mother, wherever you are, I hope you're not lonely, and I hope there is someone taking care of you the way you took care of me. I'm sorry I can never thank or repay you for what you've done for me. ...